we had read another version of The Liar in our rediscovery series.
Right,
I forget
right.
whether it was Ranji Bolt or somebody like that. And we thought, this is a really good play, but it needs
Right.
a new look at it, and hopefully an American look at it. And I had always loved your work, and not knowing that you knew French, that you were so fluent, I didn't know any of that stuff. I just knew that you were really, really clever, and then we sent it to you, and
I thought it was because I had done A Flea in Her Ear and Yasmina Reza, because I did that Yasmina Reza play.
right, that maybe it was Drew Lichtenberg, our literary manager,
Right.
who knew that you had done that.
I suspect that that's why I somehow got in line for a French play.
That probably is one.
yeah.
And I didn't know The Liar before we did it at the Rediscovery series, and I just knew it was a good play.
Yeah.
But when you did it, it was a really good play. But the great thing about you, for me, is, you do a workshop and you hear it, and bang, you fix it, you change it way before the rest of us.
Isn't that what all playwrights do?
Well, I work with so many dead ones.
They don't do that. In fact, I remember the first time we read through The Liar with the actors in the room, I said, "Oh my God, I've got to change all these things." And you said, "Really?"
And I think I didn't know.
And you did, and I said, "Yeah, I've really got to go to work on this play." And you said, "Oh, okay." And so I thought, "Wow, that was easy. Maybe I'm wrong." And so I remember going off and doing all these changes. And I also remember for that particular play when I came back in the middle of the process, and I said, "The ending is totally wrong." And I faxed you the ending, didn't I?
Right. That was almost toward the 3/4 of the way
That's
through.
right. It was.
And it was it was sort of limp, the ending. It really
Yes,
was.
yeah.
And then you came up with this completely different ending that was magical. And it was so easy to stage because it was so clear what had to happen. And we had so much fun with it. And then when I saw your School for Lies, I saw that you liked to change the ending of the Misanthrope too.
I like all of these French plays have such limp endings.
Yeah.
They all just kind of stop, and they're never satisfying the way English plays are, the way Shakespeare is satisfying, or any of that tradition. So, but I remember faxing you. These are the days of faxes. Faxing you the ending of The Liar, and then you called my phone machine and said, "It's great, we're putting it in." And that was it.
And we did.
And
I
you
think
did.
that day.
That day.
I'm so pleased that this theater finds these plays that
Well, that's
were
a great program.
huge successes in their time, that by giving it to an American writer of renown who revivifies it and is, I think, a wonderful thing that this theater can do. And
Well,
I'm very pleased about
these
it.
three plays have been some of the most fun I've ever had
Really?
working in the theater. Oh, absolutely. The Liar is the most fun I ever had.
Well, that was
Writing a play, rehearsing a play, coming to see a play. The production was glorious. And I'd had, after you have so much fun writing a play, you become a little afraid. And it was like every step of that process was the way theater is supposed to work. It was just wonderful. The great production, and it was wonderful. I always feel so grateful to you for that. Also because you put a rhyming dictionary into my hand for the first time.
Well, and
because I'd never worked in verse before.
see, I didn't know that. I had no idea that. What I think is funny now is that you're doing the book for the new Sondheim musical, and there's probably nobody who uses a rhyming dictionary more than Stephen Sondheim.
That's right. Luckily, we use the same one.